Hello, and welcome to the Infinite Adventures Podcast, Episode 0. Yes, this is Episode 0, which will be our introduction episode to this series and what this show will be about. For those who don't know who I am, my name is David, and in this series, me and a couple of friends have decided to tackle an RPG game, more specifically, Pathfinder. And we'll be playing through an adventure path called Strange Aeons. For those who don't quite know what an adventure path is, it's basically a pre-made story or a pre-made campaign that is produced by Paizo and their clever writers, and basically gives you a way to play through a story in the world of Galarian, and gives you all the tools you need for a campaign. So for those who don't think they're good enough or comfortable enough to come up with their own campaign or own stories, you can always go to Paizo and use one of their adventure paths. You do have to buy them, but they're totally worth it. And this is not me saying this because we're being paid by them or anything like that, because we're not. We're not associated with Paizo in any way. They're just an amazing company, and they provide amazing stories. And if you want to learn more about any of those adventure paths, you can always visit their website. But like I said, the adventure path we're tackling is named Strange Aeons, which is written by F. Wesley Snyder, and it basically introduces the world of H.P. Lovecraft and his Cthulhu mythos into the world of Galarian, which I don't think that has been done. I could be completely wrong, but I'm almost sure it hasn't. As you probably heard in that little sentence, the world of Galarian, basically Galarian is their Earth, in a sense, where Pathfinder takes place. And again, Strange Aeons basically tackles that aspect of H.P. Lovecraft in this world. And without getting much into what the story is actually about, because I want you to stay here and find out slowly as my other players do, it mostly sums up to people being used by evil people, and I'm putting big quotes on that evil people part, because sometimes they're not just people, and they want to bring the world to its end, like every bad guy wants to do. But nevertheless, we have heroes who we have found that will help stop that from happening. And I think it's about time to introduce those said heroes, and I'm putting big quotes on heroes on that as well, with this first episode, or at least episode 0. So, just like the show, or just like this episode's titled, it is time for us to meet our victims. Now, this episode 0 was made to introduce the characters who be playing in this adventure path. I didn't want to boggle down the first session, actually, with, all this information being thrown at y'all of the backstory and who these characters were. So, if you are curious to know who these characters are and know a little bit about their backstory, you can continue listening, and we'll get to that right now. But if you're on the mindset of, nah, I don't feel like getting to know these characters because I know they're going to die pretty soon, then you could go ahead and skip the rest of this and go to our first actual episode, our first session. But for those who are curious and do want to know, then time to introduce our first victim. Well, not actually our first victim, because there will be a quick introduction. Again, a weird little jump cut of me introducing myself again. But after that, then we'll get to our first victim. Hey guys, welcome to Infinite Adventures, our new little podcast, new series, everything we're gonna start here. This is episode 0/1 because this will leak into the actual first episode. But I decided to have this episode done so you can get a little bit of an introduction to the characters that are going to be taking part in this adventure that we have set up for you guys. And for those of y'all who do not know what this adventure I'm talking about is it's our Pathfinder campaign game called Strange Aeons, which was written by Paizo. So if you're interested in getting to know a bit more about that campaign, you can do so at their website. Again, Strange Aeons. But we're going to do some introductions here. Yours truly, the DM, is me, David. And then we have a returning member, which you should know him from the Infinite Cabinet podcast, if you've been listening to that, is John. So, Johnny, introduce yourself.
I'm really glad that you decided to go with that route, because if I was the one DMing this, I would have been like, said the exact same thing you said, and then I would have said Donovan.
Okay.
Hey everybody. So you guys might recognize me as the other voice from that other show. If you guys carried on over from there, I am John Venegas, and I am playing the character Assad Kadir. He is a human brawler, which is one of David's least favorite character races for whatever reason.
Oh, you actually said... Well, you said human? I didn't hear the human part.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I only hate them because that's what we are. And no offense to other humans, but it's boring to play humans in a world of fantasy. Because in a world of fantasy, you're supposed to play something that you're not. And, experiment with that kind of a stuff. So whenever someone in a fantasy role-playing game chooses to play a human, I find it a little bit annoying. But that's just a little pet peeves I have of me. But I will have to learn to get over that, especially when you have John, who's really hard-headed and trying to change stuff. But
I mean, do you want me to play as my cybernetic persona, which I, by the way, do not have? I don't know why I said I did.
I'm okay. I would take the human over anything else.
Cool.
Okay. So again, you said you're playing Assad.
Yes.
Who's a human brawler. Any other smaller information you would like to give out? Where he's from? Just a small little backstory, just to keep this a little bit quick.
Yep. So he's a Kelishite, which are the Pathfinder equivalent of brown people from Northeast Africa, because they couldn't just call them Middle Easterns, but whatever. He is a...
Those races don't exist in the world of Pathfinder.
Right? They don't, though, right? I named him before I picked the country he's from. And he's from the kingdom of Kadira, which is spelled exactly like his last name, but with an A at the end. Yeah, so he is from... he essentially grew up as a... I guess you could say a gutter snipe, just a street rat. And eventually kind of worked his way up through society. Ended up marrying into lower middle class, nothing too fancy. But he found a great way of making money by participating in what are essentially like just like in his street fight club, essentially.
Hunger Games,
right? After he got married, he actually ended up having to quit because he realized that a violent lifestyle would lead to just more pain and torment and turmoil. So he decided to turn to his own faith. And I always forget how to say this name, Saranre, and ends up trying to become a person who walks on the right path. However, he struggles with his own instinctual violent tendencies. Sometimes lashes out and has a hard time coping with that. And so he has a hard time with the relationships.
Okay, awesome. I mean, not awesome, but...
No, awesome. I'm glad to give you a toy that you're happy to play with.
No, I won't cause too much torment in his life. I'm not that mean. Okay. Anything else?
He's got kids, and I'm not telling you their names because every time you ask me what my family's name is, you threaten you're gonna kill them.
I'm not going to kill them.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I
I am not pausing here so that I won't edit stuff in when I do kill them. I mean, do not kill them. But I promised I would not kill them. Okay, so I'm sorry, 3 kids, you said?
Yes.
3 kids and a wife.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to know your victims. So, anything else you'd like to share before I move on?
No, I think I'm good for right now. We'll see what happens.
Awesome.
Unless nobody knows what a brawler is, they're fighter monks.
They can do their homeworks. Go do your homework, guys, and look it up. Okay. And our second person who will be joining us in this amazing adventure that I have set up. Well, not actually, I didn't actually set up, I kind of. But the other guy joining us will be our good Sir Dawn. You might remember him from a few episodes of Champions of Centra. And I don't know if he's going to be on any other ones. Or
he's Gremlin in Spectrum Files.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. This is going to come out after Spectrum Files. Oh,
Yeah.
It's already came out. Okay. So, yeah, he's also from Spectrum. Again, this is being recorded in the past when you hear this, so I don't know if he's going to be in anything else, but if he is, then he was on that too. Confusing, I know. Good Sir Dawn, would you like to introduce yourself and your character, please?
Hello, I'm Donovan. I have a really bad tendency so far to create characters that eat people. Such as
that wasn't his primary. He wasn't primarily built just to eat people. I'm hoping.
No. I would have totally chosen a different class if that was the case.
Okay, I'm sorry. You can continue.
My character Karagor is an oracle, which oracles are essentially clerics that didn't choose to be clerics. Becoming an oracle comes with a mystery and a curse. His curse makes him most of the way to being undead. Negative energy heals him, positive energy hurts him, rather than the usual thing where it's the other way around. He worships the goddess Ergothora, who is also known as the Pallid Princess, and honestly, from what I've read, is probably the most hedonistic god in this series.
Yeah, that's there. I think there's there's other gods with the evil or chaotic evil domain or whatever, but from when my reading of her, she seems like the baddest of the bad.
Yeah, most of the ways of worshipping her have to do with either lots of eating, lots of carnal activity, or killing lots of people.
I'm guessing you're taking the route of killing lots of people.
I didn't say that. You said that.
Did you say what your race was? Because I know what your race is, but I don't know if you just said it just now.
Karagor is a tiefling.
Awesome.
Basically, he's part demon. The demon in question has been chosen, and I'm guessing will remain a mystery for a fair bit.
Yes. I do have to read up on the one you chose, but he may or may not be making an appearance. So, by that time, you will find out who he is, your character-wise, so the rest of the party will know. Depending on how it's revealed, if you share it, or maybe it'll be revealed to everyone at the same moment it's revealed to you, but that part I have not 100% set in stone. So, as of right now, yes, it is a mystery on who he is, but he will be maybe making an appearance.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting day.
So, was there anything else you'll love to share before I move on?
Thanks to the DM's allowance, my character does have a item that is directly related to the god he worships. Known as the Pallid Crystal.
Which, as of giving the item to you, I did limit it because I didn't want everyone to have a magical item But
Yes.
I made the exception. It's like, well, I'll let your magical item have one of its attributes that it has. Its first level one, I guess. And then slowly, as he levels up and he researches it more, he finds out more and cooler things that the amulet can do, or the crystal can do. It makes, as of right now, what does it do?
It allows him to eat and drink spoiled food and drink as if it were fresh and wholesome, tasting just as good as it did before it spoiled.
And just to clarify it for John, it does not mean you can eat someone's poop, because the poop is not rotten.
No, that's already digested.
It's just really, really rotten.
I'm
I'm just
not
saying,
rotten.
you can dehydrate anything and call it beef jerky.
There are 3 following effects, so that'll be useful.
Mm-hmm. And we'll slowly reveal each one of those as you yourself unlock those.
Provided he survives.
Yeah, provided he makes it through the first episode, and the second one, and the third one. But
so on and so forth ad nauseam.
Yeah. Okay. And so that is, what was his name again? I forgot it.
Karagor.
Karagor. I got it. Okay. Now, last but not least, I'm almost pretty sure that he has not been in one of the Infinite Canvas episodes. I can be wrong by the time this one comes out. But our third and final member here is Good Sir Justin. I don't know if you can say hi, Justin.
Hey guys.
And how about you tell us a little bit about your character? Like, what class and race did you choose to go for?
Oh, my character's name is Nestle, and he's a Snebneblin.
Wait, is that the actual name, or was that the one we kept making up?
Oh, the actual name?
Yeah.
No,
Oh well, we have a name that we made up for him called the Smurfkins, and the reason so is because he's blue. Usually, Snebneblins are gray, and this is one of the reasons why he was shunned away from his gnome city.
For those people who don't know what exactly is the race Justin chose, it is going to be a little bit different than the way it is written in the book. I did take away a bit of the powers that race gets, because it's a pretty strong race, at least for beginners. So it is a little bit limited, but basically they remind me a lot of the drow versions of gnomes. Mostly because they live underground, and they're technically either black or like a darkish gray. For some reason, this one turned out blue, and so he's blue. But yeah, there's that. So I'm sorry, Justin, you can continue. With your character.
All right. Well, he got shunned away from his home, and he found himself in Anderon.
Yes, the City of Freedom.
Yeah, the City of Freedom.
Did you say what class you were?
I'm an investigator, actually.
Investigator. Awesome.
Yes, because he was picked up by an investigator and pretty much taught there.
Now, Justin's character doesn't have super deep backstory, but that's mostly because it's my fault. I'll blame it more on John, because it's easier to do that. But we kind of added him last minute, so we kind of had him, basically forced him most likely to make a character like immediately. But we'll slowly reveal more of each character's backstory, examples. You know, who was the person that trained Justin? What did happen to John's family? And who's Karagor's daddy? Well, that'll be next time on Mori, by the way. Okay, so y'all got a little introduction to the characters, who they are. So in the next section, we're actually just gonna jump right into it and start it. And we're actually gonna start the next section by having y'all to roll for initiative.